Hello, welcome back to our channel. Welcome to Angel Circular Parade. If you are new to our page, please subscribe, on the notification button so when next we upload you get notified. And just stay tuned. You're going to enjoy every detail of this video. If you have any question, leave it on the comment box. I will definitely reply your comment. Now I'm making a very bulky, trendy ball gown. It's a 2-in-1 ball gown, a detachable 2-in-1 ball gown. So first thing we're going to do is to cut out the ruffles for this dress. We're using a 4 inches ruffles. We're going to cut out as many as possible for this dress. This dress is for a 4 years old. So the length of this dress is the estimated length of this dress is actually 32 inches. So we're cutting out the ruffles. We're going to sew these ruffles directly on the satin fabric. It's a bridal satin fabric, no bridals. The shiny face, it stands more, you give it that standy shape more than the doll face. So that's what I'm using. So the ruffles directly on the satin. This satin I'm using now is actually 23 inches. 23 inches for this satin. It's an 8 yard of satin I'm working on. I'm using 8 yard of satin. I'm sewing the ruffles on the satin, on the whole 8 yards. It's 23 inches for this half part. The half length is 10 inches. So by the time you add it to this one, you give it 23. 33. So far, this half hour we've gone. We'll sew directly on the satin fabric. Now, for every layer of ruffle you sew, you give 1 inch in between. You give an inch in between, so it will not be too clumsy. As you can see, I'm using, mother said she does not want it very bulky, so I'm using 8 yard. The 8 yard will give it the fullness, but it will not be that bulky. And if you notice, I'm using just a layer. I'm using just a net, a roll of the, I'm using just a net for a layer. But if you want to use very bulky, you can use double nets. You can make your net double, so it will be very, very bulky. But it's a 4 years old, so I'm just trying to reduce the weight of the dress. So you give space in between, you give an inch in between, you sew line by line till you get to the top of the dress. But at the top, make sure you leave 1 inch for the band, so it will not be too thick. You're not going to do ruffles to the top, leave 1 inch in between. So we just keep running the ruffles round until we get to the edge of the dress, the very top. Now, this is what it looks like when we're done. Remember I told you I did this on 8 yards of satin. So after getting this, the next thing I'm going to do is to gather the waist of the dress, of this skirt now. I'll gather the waist. The waist of the baby is 20 inches, but I'm going to gather 20 inches and leave 2 inches extra for zip allowance. This is actually a skirt. I'm going to make it like a skirt, so the baby is going to wear this skirt on top of the dress, but you won't know it's a 2-in-1 dress. It's going to wear the skirt, and the skirt is going to have a zip at the back where they can detach it. So next thing is to cut the half length of the dress. The shoulder of this dress is 9 inches. We divide it by 2 to give us 4.5. Remember, you fold your fabric into 4. We get the armhole. To get the armhole for kids, we use 5 inches. The length of this half length is 10 inches, but we use 1 inch for zip for joining allowance. So we'll trim out the armhole. The chest of this dress is 5 inch plus 1 inch sewing allowance. The same as you cut it out. So the next thing I'm going to do is to cut out the lower part of that little dress. Remember I told you it's a 2-in-1 dress. There's a little dress inside, then the bulky skirt on top. So I'm going to use 13 inches, but I'm going with 13 inches for this. It's a 4 years old and I don't want it too long, so I'm using 13 inches. The 13 inches, I'll use ½ inch for joining it to the half length. So we'll cut it out. I'm going to cut out 2 different parts, join them together so it will be full. But at the end of the day, I noticed it wasn't too full enough, so I added extra 2 parts to it. This is actually 10 yards of net. I'm cutting it, so you cut it into 4 different parts if you want it very full. One thing about this ball dress, when it's full, it's very fine, it stands well. So you cut it out, you join them, you do the gather, you join them. you can sew, join them 1 2 3 4. You sew one, so the other one, or you join them together, whichever way you want it. So we'll cut it out. At the end of the day, we're going to add the do the gather at the waist, then we'll join it to the half length. Let me take it to the machine now and join it to the half length. Remember I said after joining your net, you put your bridle. After your bridle, you put your lining. This is how it came out. Remember I said this bulky part is detachable. It's a skirt, you detach it, but it's not that obvious. It's a skirt, you detach it out. So I'm done. This is how it looks like. The next thing is to put the applique and the hand of the dress. Ta-da! Now this is how it looks. It's so beautiful. This dress is heavy. It actually weighs 2.5 kg, to show you how heavy it is. And I did not do double layer. I remember at the beginning of the video I told you that when doing the ruffles, I used just one layer of net. I did not make it double. But if you notice, the upper part is a bit full. I made it double so it will not be obvious that it's a skirt. They will not see the joining. So that's how it is. See the ruffles, so beautiful. The applique, beautiful. See the hand of the dress, very fancy. The mom was so in love with this dress. I hope you enjoyed this video.